Hello, everybody. Joe Johnson here from ONTV. I am here at home, self-isolating like many of you, so welcome to my home. If you're anything like me, one of the toughest parts about being in isolation is trying to come up with creative outlets to kind of keep you sane. So fairly early on, when I was getting bored, I decided to try and come up with some sort of a project I can work on to keep me busy and keep my mind going. I'm a collector, so I have a lot of toys and props from movies and things scattered about my home here. And I decided I was going to try and recreate scenes from some of my favorite films using the props that I have in my collection. So using only my iPhone, which I'm talking into right now, I used that to try and shoot scenes from some of my favorite films. Now I'm here alone. I don't have anyone to help me. So there are certain things that you may need if you plan on shooting a movie with your phone. One is, it's helpful to have a device like this. I got this for Christmas. It's a phone holder, and it's flexible and bendable, and it allows you to position this into any shape to hold your phone in any position. So I've been using that to as sort of a tripod for my phone. But I also have a tripod, and I'm using a high-tech gadget called a rubber band to hold my phone onto the tripod, which is what I'm using right now. So using only my phone and being here by myself, I got to work on creating these tributes to some of my favorite films. One of them that I got a lot of feedback on, and I did get a lot of nice feedback from people, and I appreciate it. But the first one we're going to look at is a scene that I did paying tribute to the movie Scream. In Scream, Drew Barrymore kicks off the movie by being home alone. She's popping popcorn, and she gets harassed by the caller, the voice, which turns out to be Ghostface. So even though I didn't recreate that shot by shot, I tried to capture the mood of the scene. And we're going to watch this clip. A lot of people ask me, who was there with you? That is me playing both roles in the movie, and I'll explain how I did it after we take a look at the clip. Hello.
Hello, Sydney.
Who is this?
Who's this?
It's Joe.
What are you doing?
I'm in quarantine, of course. I'm popping some popcorn. Maybe gonna watch a scary movie or something. I don't know.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I like Scream a lot.
That movie sucks.
No, it's good. I met most of the cast members. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh, hold on, my popcorn. So what kind of movies do you like?
I kinda like Joe's apartment.
Yeah, that one's okay. I don't know. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna go watch my movie. See ya. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to talk about what went into shooting that and editing it. The first scene I shot was just me popping popcorn, throwing it in the microwave, hitting start. I shot video of me putting it in the microwave and taking it out of the microwave. I wanted to have something that I can cut away to in case I needed it, and it just so happened that I did need it. The next thing I shot was me sitting in the kitchen all by myself talking on the phone. You will see that through this entire scene, the Scream character, Ghostface, never appears yet when we shot this. It's just me sitting alone, pretending to have a conversation with somebody on the other end of the phone. My goal shooting this was making sure that I didn't cross this line here, which separates the wall from the entrance into the dining room. So I shot the entire scene of me having a conversation in the kitchen. When I was done shooting that part of it, I got in costume and became Ghostface, and I shot myself in different areas of the living room and dining room. You can see here that I'm way in the living room, just kind of peeking out, trying to be really subtle, hoping people will notice me in the background. And then you'll see that I move closer and I peek from behind the one wall, and then I move to the other part of the dining room and peek behind the other wall. And then I kind of do this Scooby-Doo type tiptoe from one side to the other. And then I shot me attacking myself. So you can see that I'm only in the frame by myself running toward the imaginary victim. Now, the key to shooting this scene is making sure that the camera does not move, because to put both the victim and the killer on screen at the same time involves a split screen. Unfortunately, when I hit stop and record on the phone, it jiggled just enough to throw things out of whack. So you have to be really careful not to jiggle the camera. But I was able to fix it a little bit in editing to make it seem fairly seamless. It fooled a lot of people. Now, during the editing process, basically what you do is you layer those two scenes on top of each other. So we're going to take the victim, and I'll throw this on track 1. And then we'll take Ghostface, and there he is way in the background where he steps out. I'm going to mark in, have him step out, and then he's going to step back. Going to mark out, so we got it in and out. Now, just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to throw this anywhere on top. Now, right now, Ghostface on layer 2 overwrites what's on layer 1. So what we have to do is throw a crop in. So I'm going to take the crop effect, drop it into the video that's on track 2, and then up here in the effects controls, I'm going to adjust the crop from the left. Now, as I adjust it from the left, you'll see me start to appear as the victim, and then we try to find a good edit point, which would be right about there. So now as these play, as I play the video, you'll see Ghostface and me on screen at the same time. Now, you may have noticed that when it cuts to the Ghostface video, the video lurches just a little bit because the camera got bumped just a bit. I'm going to throw a cross dissolve in there just to soften the transition. And it's not as noticeable if you put a cross dissolve in there. And so when I disappear off the screen, when Ghostface steps back, I'll throw another cross dissolve in to transition back to the kitchen. Now as I move into a different position with the costume on, say from the right side, I'm going to mark in, hit play, I'm going to peek out and disappear. I'm going to throw that in over here. Now I'm going to copy and paste attributes, copy, paste attributes to give me the same crop options. I'm going to fade in, a little cross dissolve at the beginning, A little cross dissolve at the end. So now when I play it, very subtle. Pokes his head in, pokes his head out. So that's the key to doing a split screen. It's important to keep the camera as steady as possible on a tripod. And that allows you to do the split screen. Now, so there's a scene where I'm running and Ghostface is chasing me. So let me show you how I did that. So I'm reacting to an invisible Ghostface. So I hang up the phone and then react to an invisible Ghostface attacking me. I'm going to throw that on track 1. Now we get the footage of Ghostface chasing me. There it is. Gonna mark in, come into frame, chase an invisible victim until he goes off frame. And I'm gonna put that on layer 2. And we gotta time it so that I'm reacting to Ghostface coming into the frame. We may have to adjust that a little bit. Now, because both the victim and the killer is moving, the crop is going to have to move into a different position. It's almost kind of like it's animated. So let's throw the crop option on the video that's on track 2. Now, I'm going to have the crop start I'm going to adjust the left crop to reveal the victim. So we can start right about there. Now I'm going to add keyframes. So the left crop, I'm going to plot my first keyframe. Now as Ghostface moves, I'm going to adjust my keyframe. Whoop, right. Trying to make sure that he doesn't get cropped off at any point. Every time I move the crop, it applies a new keyframe. And I'll keep going. I'll advance it, move the crop until it goes off screen. Let's see what it looks like on our first try here. Oh, that worked really, really well. So the crop gets animated and moves along with Ghostface. Now, as far as the voice on the phone, I just recorded that using my phone. I got surprisingly good audio on my phone, just recording voiceovers and things like that on my phone. So I used that to record the voice on the phone, the Ghostface voice, famous from the movie, and edited that in. There's all kinds of good resources for music, dramatic music that you can find online. And so it all came together really, really well. The biggest comment I got from people who saw it was the amount of butter I put on my popcorn, but hey, I like my movie butter on my popcorn. So that's pretty much what went into putting this short piece together. The original version that I did, I cut it together with all my shorts, but then I cut it down into smaller segments because I discovered something relatively new called TikTok. A lot of you are probably familiar with it. I have heard of it, and I'd seen clips from TikTok, but I never really fully explored it. And I found out that TikTok is perfect for these little short projects. As a matter of fact, as far as I know, the limit on a video is 60 seconds. Now, of correct me if I'm wrong, but that seems to be the top most length for TikTok. So I'm trying to do a 60-second version of each of these films, upload to TikTok, and the response has been great. Every video I've uploaded has like 500 views on it, so that's pretty awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how this was put together. This should convince you that I did it all by myself with no help from anybody. And we'll come back with more tutorials on how I did some of the other short films as part of this project. Hey, anything to keep me sane, right? And keep the creative juices flowing. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're staying safe at home. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.